It's a fact you're not here. You ain't even real, but you still bring me fear. You make my bones so tired that my soul stands up. But now I'm starting to need to bleed to fill this cup. It's like I'm starting to need to bleed to fill this cup. Oh.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to The Working Wing, the podcast where every week we watch some episodes of The West Wing and break them down from our own unique working leftist perspective. My name is Tim Schultz, and joining me, as always, my good friend, a longtime debate partner, and a man who always gets standing ovations whenever he makes Berry Milquetoast responses in political debates. Killian Collins is here.
Thanks, Tim. But as you know, I don't like to make those milquetoast responses.
No. You are a firebrand. One might call you Bartlett-esque at times.
Yeah, it's funny about that with like those Bartlett-esque moments that we're going to talk about here. But yeah, it is a debate. It's a debate club at this one, and I wanted to start this episode out quick by asking you, Tim. Tim, were you ever in debate club in like?
I was always too busy doing theater to do any of the other activities in high school.
Yeah, and
I think I would have been good at debate club, but never had the time for it.
I only did middle school, and I was like miserable at it, but like I did learn how to do it. Like one time I was it was like, oh, you're kind of trained in like how to do this, and you're going to be handed out somebody's notes about a different subject, which was totally wrong about what we were talking about, and it totally like fucked us up.
Can't trust people, man.
Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah, we didn't know what to do with it. We just kind of ran with with like a literally wrong script about like, you know, we were talking about like Ebola when they were talking about like, you know, like they were talking about like women's rights and stuff, and like it's like they were kind of like, where'd this come from? And like we just couldn't say, like, we're in the wrong notes.
You gotta duck and weave, man.
It was strange. It was a strange time, but anyway, it's still brought back like memories of like, you know, the recesses in between rebuttals where you're trying to like figure out like, oh, when they say this, you're gonna go for this or go for that and go for that. And yeah, I just kind of like this really is like a debate club two-parter. This is what I think of this as.
Yeah, for sure. You got like, the prep, and then you got the knockout performance.
Yeah. I know, and it's like this makes me think of so many, like, I mean, we'll get to it as we go along, but we start off with the first episode of this being debate camp. The president is mock debating Sam over affirmative action.
Well, this is like classic Democratic infighting in like the most purest form of like, you did a racism. No, you did a racism.
Yeah,
well, that racism I did was so long ago. How dare you bring up this racism I did? It's like me talking about Joe Biden's segregationist history.
Yeah, but you just debate somebody else who like his politics are more closer to yours. They just try to sound better on like,
right.
You just try to sound better, and you take critiques from people right away who are listening in on it. You know, and he pulls up a withdrawing about a attorney general.
Yeah, he had put forward a attorney general, a black man, but apparently not a man on the right side of history when it comes to like racial profiling and affirmative action.
Oh, like Herschel Walker, or
exactly,
or Adams.
I think CJ literally gets he's one of the good ones from like that evangelical guy she's talking to.
Yeah.
In this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, Bartlett says bite me and is quippy about it because, as we learn on a personal note, like Sam was in on like why that guy even got out of the nomination.
Yeah, Sam was against nominating him in the first place.
So
he was talked down. So
right. Yeah, and then Joey suggests dragging the issue to the war on to the success in the war on drugs.
What success on the war? What again? I guess. I mean,
no, it's really just to show. It's really to show, like, hey guys, we're as effective as the Republicans.
Right. We all want to
policing.
lock up hundreds of thousands of black people. Okay. Me and my opponent both want to do that. I've done it. So vote for me.
Yeah. So we got you on that. Sam impersonates the president briefly, does his best little Bartlett impression.
Yeah, not a terrible Bartlett.
Yeah. But then the president needs to get dragged out to the emergency room for some Israeli and fake Kumar drama.
Yeah. It's like debate prep is not enough. We also have to be planning a war at the same time.
Yeah. Setting a stage for a war that will still inevitably be raging 20 years from now.
Of course. That's how we do things.
President meets at the top brass in a bar in upstate New York, which is funny in retrospect within the second episode when they start talking about this missile silo nonsense and like, well, the Chinese are going to know what's going on with all this, when it's like they have this whole like situation room and like we're led to believe like barn in like New Hampshire or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Israel wants to do a preemptive strike. They essentially want blackmail money to like not set the Middle East on fire.
Yeah.
Toby.
Leo is kind of Islamophobic here. Just kind of his whole steed for like the past 2 seasons of like, we got to negotiate with these people. Like the way he says these people is pretty bad.
Like we're negotiating with animals all the time here.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know, Leo. I mean, like plenty of those Viet Cong fellas like would probably feel like what you did there was monstrous. And,
yeah.
Like, how could you even live with yourself? And how are you really a monster? But anyway, Leo, that's what Leo's there to be. He's there to be that old American brass old man who's just like has to be racist. He's got to be racist to carry on that liberal tradition. You can't be America without being a little bit of give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that. Yeah, but that part of America definitely sucks, and I don't like. As we could probably tell, we don't agree with that shit. Toby's ex, I forget his ex's name, Tim. Like Andy. So we have so the 3 women who are like involved with men are like Abby, Amy, and Andy, and Joey.
Yes.
Like it's just like Sorkin. Like, are you like? Is there something with his like? I'm starting to take like a deep like psychological analysis of this now. Josh and Sam give Toby shit about how bad things are going with like I don't know about she's around again. Like, it leads into this weird storyline where
yeah, well, it's a lot of talk about like sperm donation from Toby,
right? And to me, that's just kind of like you're trying to be interesting, just trying to be interesting about television, just like talking about sperm, jacking off here and there. Like you guys are trying to be risque a little bit.
I guess.
Like I know exactly. I
guess this is risque.
Like for like like
for like 2002.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, by our standard, it's like nothing now. But
well, no, like, but yeah, by our standard, if you're not literally like committing incest on screen, then it's like, oh, this is like boring vanilla shit.
Yeah. Flashback to the inauguration setup, basically. Inauguration pre-set up. Staff debates. What were they debating again? Yeah,
they were debating the nomination.
The nomination of the Attorney General, and they need to be something. They were basically saying they need to pick the GOP won't bitch about.
I think CJ has. Like, yeah, CJ tells Sam, like, this guy is our guy because he's got a record conservatives can't complain about.
Yeah.
And Sam, a rare good point from Sam, says the guy we just beat in this election had a record conservatives can't complain about, but he didn't win the election.
Right.
which is, Democrats always want to move to the right. It's they always inexorably move to the right because they don't believe in their own principles.
No, they don't. Not at all. But
I'm trying to figure out what I wrote here.
I have down it's Donna's first day. It's her first day at the
office. The Donna stuff is deeply stupid.
It is deeply stupid, and it's like a whole fuck. Trying to delete that. Okay. Toby's with his iodine. Yeah, some guy leads her around and tells her about like
there's a nuclear missile underneath the Eisenhower putting green.
Yeah, and you should take iodine to
counteract the radiation poisoning.
Jesus Christ! Like take. So you mean like take salt tablets?
Yeah, it's funny that it's a suggested remedy is like. It's like salt tablets.
It sounds like from the Eisenhower administration, like duck and cover to avoid the nuclear blast with a newspaper.
That guy is probably making bank on like wellness TikTok today.
Good for him. Toby and his wife, have
it's rough.
Yeah, they have fertility lab hang-ups. Why are they trying to make this work? Aren't they divorced? What the hell's going on with this? Like, do they just need this person to like be back in his life for a little bit? Do they need a personality?
It kind of feels like they're at the stage in the relationship where it's like, well, we need a kid or else why are we even together? So
Staff is meeting over battleground states. Richie is favored in New Hampshire. Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, the New Hampshire thing is fucking stupid and contrived because New Hampshire
is worth nothing.
New Hampshire is A, worth nothing, B, deeply liberal, C, the home state of the president, where like we're told repeatedly his family has controlled that state for like all of its history.
Forever. It's like, you're probably gonna win it. And if you don't, even if it's not the biggest deal.
Right.
As long as you
it's like attempt to create some kind of psychological drama or whatever.
Right. When it's just like, this doesn't add up with reality here.
No.
The mock debate is being mocky. They want him to sentimentalize families with this. Yeah, and I just have a sad face. Everyone was grumpy over this sentimentalized families.
Yeah.
Where they
just say that.
We flash
back, yeah.
Flashback to CJ's first mock a mock conference that she had probably after not as successful first couple of briefings. Yeah. But getting her swings in there. She's memorizing names in a dark room. This evangelical guy comes in and says he's praying for her.
You can't trust an evangelical who says he's praying for you. That's for sure.
Yeah. As he says, like, well, we're praying for you, praying that you might change some laws, for school prayer, hoping for that. We love Rooker. Rooker is great.
Rooker's great. You also never trust an evangelical when they say when they say they like a candidate.
When they approach you in a dark room alone, like he's like, I've never seen a colored man like him so good on racial profiling. Like it's like, this guy does kind of seem just like a fucking like villain coming out of nowhere with just like like from a different time. That's just like, I'm the evangelical man from under the bridge. Won't you take some of my poison with me? Or you take some of my information, child. We take Mrs. Lanningham. We get another appearance from her, going over what pictures the president wants in the White House, doing what she does best, talking down to Mr. Bartlett. Loving it. CJ then tells Leo and President about the evangelical reporter guy, And they said, well, he wasn't praying for you. He was praying for you that he was going to burn.
Yeah. Well, also, all right. Apparently, Sam is on this list. Like, I get CJ being on the list. She is the most public, besides the president, face of the administration. Although, again, I could not tell you who the current press secretary of the White House is.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea that Sam, the deputy communications director for the White House, is on this list of like, was it like the 365 most influential people in media?
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely think of 365 people who are more influential in media than Sam Seaborn.
Yeah.
It goes back to this whole, these political, like, these political functionaries are for sure celebrities.
Yeah.
In this world.
We have Amy now in current times is biking, answers a call from Josh that is basically meant to just kind of piss her off, I guess. Like I kind of lost track of like where they were going with this. It seemed more like a relationship bit with them, because like what they were talking about like just kind of seemed like nothing. Just kind of seemed like it just because they weren't really negotiating over like anything that I could really see.
No, it was
being,
more like
over.
it was really just an opportunity for Josh to be shitty to her about her love life. Or
right. Like trying to use some politics, but it's not really relevant to like anything that like he's actually trying to get done, like at all. Josh and go back in the past, and Josh and Sam are confused by the White House layout. NAACP is mad about Rooker, and because they can clearly see this guy's no good.
Yeah, because they actually looked at his record, which apparently the Bartlett administration did not bother to do.
They're too busy celebrating. CJ's got this awesome perm, dude. Yeah, Sam thinks they're gonna lose the confirmation. Yeah, Sam wants out. Josh reads. Oh yeah, then we have this that dumb line. Yeah, some dumb berating from Josh. Josh berates Donna for her. She had a little interview in 21 magazine that this guy
talked about the nuclear silo underneath the White House. He calls her Bambi-esque.
Yeah. Charlie and Toby then talk about being on Team Toby.
They also sing a campfire song that is like the whitest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was like this Latin campfire song or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
probably sung at like Eaton Hall or something.
Yeah. Toby's ex also Andy then asks Toby for some white blood cells to go along with that smackety smack that she got earlier from him.
Yeah.
CJ is with Toby and they find out that Rooker has a DUI cover up, so their nominee has a DUI cover up. They did for themselves.
Again, a thing you should check before you make your nomination.
Yes. Yeah, Josh calls Amy on a dinner, but just
trolling her.
Just trolls her more and more and more. What the fuck? Then then we go back in the past, and Donna turns out that there's like some guy that came in that's acting like he's from the NSA and takes away Donna's credentials. But I'm just gonna give away it now. That didn't happen. So that didn't happen. It's stupid. Like fuck you guys for that. Like no.
Well, no. What it is like Donna got herself a day off. Which go Donna.
Yeah, go for her. Yeah, go for her doing that. Having a guy pretend to do it, but there you go. Josh splits us. Go back to the future. Josh splits everyone into teams over I guess just like debate prepping them more and more and more, just drilling them on questions.
Yeah, you're gonna separate everyone into issues, get good answers down.
Yeah, just make his life hell. Presence in the Situation Room. Kamara's got a boat full of ammunition potentially, and they need to turn the boat around. No. Leo, we go back in the past, and Leo's telling the staff the president withdrew Rooker for a nomination.
Complaints about Biden, sorry, I said Biden's poll numbers, Bartlett's poll numbers.
Yeah.
Which are bad, but still far better than anything Joe Biden has had for his entire presidency.
Yeah, I mean the start of it, it seems like that in that fictional Bartlett situation, that's like not a great start, but that's at that point, like anyone winning against Trump would have had like a pretty high rating at that.
Yeah,
point.
I think Biden was at like a 60% for a while when he first got in, and then has been like below 40%.
And he was a piece of shit like from that whole time. Like,
yeah,
like it's not like he got worse. It's just
fumbling the bag from the start for sure.
Like, yeah. Josh then we go back in the past, and Josh tells Sam over the Donna thing that he's been duped. Amy calls Josh with nothing. Diatribe. They test in some answer that what answer did she give?
It was something about families. I don't remember. It was like Bartlett wants to make sure that all women have the chance to make the right decisions for themselves and their family.
It was something about like, hey, don't mess with my that, don't mess with my that. Something that's kind of like rightsy that you get liberals and conservatives usually to like be on the same page on of like don't mess with my that.
It was kind of like a parental rights answer, I think.
Yeah. Toby tells staff his ex is preggo with twins. President comes in with Sam. No Rooker answer yet, and he's just like, "Well, run with it." He's gonna lose New Hampshire. He's gonna lose New Hampshire if I can't hold him, which is still ridiculous. Like nothing to do with that. And that I basically just have like they just started another night of debate camp with. No, which I just kind of wonder is like, well, what are you gonna have about the Rooker question? Just like you're just gonna say bite me, or just be like I made a mistake? Like,
yeah, I think like, he's probably just gonna say I made a mistake.
That's it. Like it's like you're not gonna show that moment, which that would be a more powerful moment. But I guess they're trying to show the whole. Oh, you ain't fucking doing this shit type of like yeah like you're not gonna pull any punches. But of course, a debate's always so much easier when you're writing it in your head. So, and this is exactly what this next part is.
Oh, this is the subtext for this next episode is just you have to imagine Aaron Sorkin at his desk scribbling away with one hand, and then the other hand he's just jerking it so hard the entire time. Because this is Aaron Sorkin's like ideal of like my guy is so smart and so eloquent, and my positions are just so right. That like.
And your guys are so dumb and they don't even know how to respond. And you're going to say this.
And my guy is going to beat George Bush. I mean, Richie.
But it starts out with President Bartlett having a crisis of confidence. Oh my God.
To be fair to Aaron Sorkin, as he sits there jerking it at his desk, this is an all-time great opening. I do. It's the timing, the pacing, the act. You know, it's an all-time.
The actors pull it off. The actors do pull it off. They pull it off. And Martin Sheen's a great actor in a way where he's like able to step on the tell. Like
Richard Schiff is his dumbfounded. I thought this wasn't supposed to happen to you guys. Like crisis of confidence.
Yeah. But Leo is suggesting to everybody, or to Toby especially, just positive reinforcement. Just be a cuddly bear to him. But also, drill him on all these issues and tell him where he's wrong. Like,
yeah.
Like things like missiles, education, death penalty. But Toby calls out that you have any self-doubt, and to which it's all exposed to be a hoax. I bet
The president gives a terrible answer on the death penalty, and Toby loses it on him, and everyone bursts out laughing. President collects like $50 from his staff.
Sounds like a racket to me, man. But yeah, no, yeah, they're ready. Like he's ready to go. Sam sees Will. Sam meets with this guy Will Bailey, which he keeps referencing, like, you know, the Frank Capra films. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
He's like, but he's basically this guy, this campaign manager.
This whole sequence is weird, right?
It is because
like the amount of time dedicated to Will Bailey feels weird.
Because Will Bailey is a guy who is a campaign manager
for a dead person
in a district that was going to lose.
Yes, Orange County,
County,
one of the richest, most heavily Republican areas, especially in all of California,
for like a losing campaign, and he is like fighting his ass off for it because that is like how he makes his career as like a campaign manager. I would probably say is like you don't give up on it. Like it's like, you know, you want to be one of those, I guess. But it's like even for one that's completely dead, but like that's how these motherfuckers make themselves.
Yeah.
But like Sam basically goes in there to tell him to quit, to which this guy is like, no, I'm gonna like work because like it's like I'm like at the bottom of the barrel and that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah,
like it's like, yeah, I know. He's like, this is a shit show and it's a joke, and he's like, no, it's not a joke because like I have to not treat it like a joke because this is my job.
Sam also goes in there to tell him how hot his assistant is. Right. And he says, I hope I'm not being inappropriate. No, Sam, you are absolutely being inappropriate.
So what are you going to do about it? Yeah, you're too busy with other things. You have another meeting in 2 minutes. Yeah. And then Sam reapproaches him on the beach and asks him to give up again. To which this guy is like, "Fuck you!" Like it's like, well, you keep coming here and like,
yeah. Well, that happens after we see a little bit of we see his press conference, right, where he's all fiery and quick-witted and has the whole "there's worse things than being not alive. You could be a Republican."
Great. I know it's shitty talking points too, but it's like, damn, I wouldn't be working that hard for that. I'd be trying.
We also meet L.B. Duncan.
Oh, yep. I missed that. Yeah.
Crazy old Undersecretary L.B. Duncan.
Yeah, L.B. Duncan. What was his purpose again? His purpose was to like.
His purpose was basically like, I think Richie had a Democrat spinning for him on foreign policy.
Oh, so they needed
a Republican to spin for Bartlett on foreign policy,
on trade,
trade specifically, but yeah.
Which was the good old greatest. Trade is great for human rights. NAFTA is great for human rights.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
President wants to wear his lucky tie, unlike the one that was picked on television for him, that Charlie wanted to give him, that Charlie was going to give him, that was tested on television. And Leo buffs up. Leo buffs the president up. Game on. Leo gives more info on his to his lawyer that he doesn't really. I keep on guessing that's like. I think he gives his more info to his lawyer that he has an inappropriate relationship with. That like I think just makes her more nervous about being like around him. He doesn't want to give into the demands on debate night of all nights. He doesn't want to negotiate these people, but he's gonna meet with Ali Nazir, who I believe is I think he's
either the Qatar ambassador to the UN or the Qatar ambassador to the US. I'm not sure which.
Yeah. He's coming later. Charlie and Donna debate tie relevance. of like whether it's an unlucky tie or of whether Charlie's
lots
tie
of
has on him.
lots of tie content in this
Yeah.
episode.
Lots of
One might take
superstition.
two. Yeah.
I would say there is a good amount of performance superstition that we all have been like. If you've been in a performance, you're definitely accustomed to it a little bit.
We used to like eat lemons when we were doing theater.
There's weirder things. There's
weirder things.
There's all sorts of tradition. Like it's everywhere too. It's like CJ and Secretary, Secretary Albie Duncan talk about post-debate spin room, and he keeps on going on about why trade is essential for their human rights.
Well, except he also has the sense to be like, well, we hope, right? Well, and he has the line, he's like, if Chinese dissidents are going to be making shoelaces, making shoes with their teeth, then we might as well sell some cheeseburgers while we're at it.
To which he says, I'm not going to use that line, but like CJ secretly loves that line. Like,
well, she later says it, and I have a whole note about that, but we will get to that when we get to that.
Ali and Leo talk about Qatar beat. Leo just keeps on playing tough, and this is like the basic foreign policy relation with like basically all the countries of the Middle East. It's just like, no, you don't literally have any fucking you don't have any fucking demands back, and we're just kind of like big dick you, and especially like having like Leo in there just to be like what's up with it, because basically it just seems like Nazir was like, well, there's going to be an investigation over this guy getting killed, when and where and everything. It just doesn't really seem to add up. And Leo's like, you gotta turn all this shit around, okay?
Yeah.
Debate's about to start. Staff gives all the president game ons. Abby snips his lucky tie.
I do like that. Yeah. I do like that.
Yeah. To throw him off and frazzle things beforehand. Which I do like. I like that too. I like a nice little like kick in the pants to like throw someone off guard. Debate starts. What I do like about like they do shoot certain parts of this like a televised CTTV or CTV debate, like something you would see on C-SPAN or something.
Yeah,
like it is well shot, something on PBS or something, like something you'd see in like a decent presidential debate like around that time. But Richie gets set on an education question from the Fed on I guess federal regulations on education. He brings up unfunded mandate. He's like, he's going to bring up this word, unfunded mandate, Bartlett is. To which Bartlett says, well, first of all, unfunded mandate is 2 words. And then you hear this like drop of like, and this is where Aaron Sorkin, like, this is like where like the pants come off for him. Like they were at his ankles before, but
can we have it back, please? Yeah. And he's like, oh my goodness, I need to. Yeah, he needed space for this one.
Right. Like, and it's so funny with like the score and stuff like that comes up. It's like the little like tiny like, oh, my heart just beat right there when he said that. And it's like Richie has nothing. Like, and that's kind of what's sad about this debate is it's like, I'm like, damn, like I'm gonna hoping there's a little bit more like, swings at him a little bit more. Like he gets like knocked off guard and he's like, oh, I don't know what to say about that, but I'm gonna like, judo this and like change this into something else. I'll be like, well, that'd be cool, but it is not that. It is just like the power trip. It is the Bartlett is going Goku on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we have it back? Richie is on a partisan. Yeah. Richie's on partisan bickering.
He's like, Americans don't like partisan bickering. Bartlett's like, I think they don't like cowardly politicians who just dunk on partisan bickering while trying to get elected through it. And then he's like, you used the word liberal 3 dozen times in one day. It was yesterday. It's like, oh shit. Oh.
which is crazy because if I heard that in the presidential debate, I'd be like, this guy's like a fucking nerd. Like, like this is other night. I feel like Trump would be like, you said it 45 times. Like that'd be like a nothing thing. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Then we go back to the negotiations. Nasir debates an airstrike in Kumar. Something like that. Something about yelling about Zionist propaganda, which I'm like, yeah, there's
there's a lot of that. Well, and then he has like I mean, Leo kind of like fully embraces the Islamophobia of his country here because Nasir says something like, I understand that the president has to, pretend he's not involved in order to get elected here. And Leo's like, our country is like deeply Islamophobic, especially here in the year 2002.
Yeah.
And if the president just like executed the Sultan of Kumar in Times Square and then walked across the street to buy a hot dog, people would love that shit.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of right.
At that time, yeah, that would have been cheered on by a lot of people that would have let him get away with it. The people who would have condemned him would have been looked at like, are you defending terrorists?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And that's like, that's the way that they wanted this shit to be. And especially with this little comment at the end that his lawyer makes, which I couldn't believe that she said this. When she said oh no, because even the ambassador was like, yeah, he's kind of like running at this a little hot, isn't he? And she's just like, oh no, excuse me, like I'm also running hot. I am like I'm going with some like infidels next door. You probably want to behead me, don't you? Which I'm just like, yeah, like these people are horrible to negotiate with. Like these people would be like the worst, the most hostile people.
Definitely a tough scene for any Islamic country in the U.S. at this time.
Yeah, then his lawyer tries to cool off Leo, and he says like, what am I handing off to the next guy? And it's like, well, yeah, Leo, well, let me tell you, Leo, what you're handing off to the next guy right now. You're handing off like a whole nother 20, 30, 40, however many years of like resistance, and that's never going to go away. Like that's what you're handing off to your children. It's going to be pretty fucked up, and it's going to like potentially risk like the whole health of the world. So I mean, that's what you're risking with that. Honestly, it sucks. Telling you from later.
Yeah. Bartlett has his partisan answer. I'm going to be the president for the left and for all Americans, not just the party. And if the left has a problem with that, they can vote for someone else. It's like, you just had to take that shot at the left, don't you, Sorkin?
Yeah.
You just always have to take that. Yeah, you're pummeling the conservatives.
We don't need you.
Don't worry. There's enough hands here for the left to get a shot too.
Yeah, we don't need you.
Hey, don't think just because you vote for me that I'm actually going to like represent your policy positions at all. Bow.
You should just shut up.
We are always told to shut up. That is what the center of the Democratic Party has been telling us for 50 years.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna happen. I'm just gonna I'll use my vote against them. Yeah, Richie wants to. Yeah. Then CJ disband. Yeah, she disbands. What was she talking about?
She's saying no spin. She's saying we'll have some experts available to talk, but like we're not going to do like political spin on this because it's the shot Ali never took when Foreman was going down. It's it's whatever.
Yeah. Fair enough, because they're basically golden. Yeah.
There is a funny moment though, where she goes up to Albie Duncan, and Albie Duncan is talking to reporters. Like, let's be clear, he is currently on the record with reporters. CJ comes up and drops this horrible line about Chinese political dissidents sewing sewing shoes with their teeth, so we might as well sell them Big Macs while we're at it. And it's like, there's no way that the headline coming out of this isn't CJ Craig has totally fucking bizarre and deranged take on US-China relations.
Right.
like Beijing is going to get involved, and like it there's no way that that's not a huge thing, but it's just played off as like no, we have room for nuance now, so we can make like horrible comments about the Chinese.
we can like totally not respect them. Like they're not going to go anywhere in 20 years. All right. We're their biggest customer. So yeah, no, that was this
is a bizarre moment. It's like,
it is a bizarre moment, especially with the whole, like, you know, signs behind him thing and yelling that to him while she said
saying that to a group of reporters.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. Especially. Debate ends, and clearly, like, they walk off.
Richie tells Bartlett, "I'm done." Bartlett says, "You'll be back."
Yeah. Then Sam visits Will Bailey at a bar, on also, I guess, to make fun of him. Like, cause
I mean, Sam goes, I don't know if he's making fun of him here. He goes there so that he can have his like pseudo celebrity moment.
Yeah. Which is really lame, because he's going among all the little political, like the poor.
This is like the one context where I believe that these people do probably at least have some awareness of who he is, but like it always feels dumb when they do this stuff.
Yeah, no, especially if they ever clap for him, because I'd just be like, that guy's a douchebag. Like, he's at the like he works for the Bartlett campaign. He's like fucking coming here. Like, why? Like, I got that's kind of how I'd feel about it. But if I was working for this like losing campaign where this guy like came, but I guess he kind of like came there to say like, well, like I know you ghost wrote this stuff. Like, and I know like you're like, I guess because he knows he's like a good writer, and he's like, I know you're better.
Yeah, because they had been talking like all throughout the episode about the governor of California gave a really good speech.
Yeah,
and Will Bailey wrote it. So, I really don't know the point of this scene other than to like further. I guess Will Bailey.
Yeah, I guess to tell him that like, oh, like I know you can do better than doing this shit, when it's just like, like what do you expect? Like it's like you gonna like give up your job? Like, I'll take your job. I'll be the president of speechwriter. Fuck it. If you think I'm better at it, like, why not? Like, hey, aren't you done? Isn't there a rotating door? Didn't you have like some hooker that you fucking like you fucking harassed on your way out of here? Come on, like. Let's not be like that. But hey, that's the end of that. You know, no consequences for the Bartlett team. And now we're probably going to get into the election very soon.
Yes. Let me look at this episode list. Let's see here.
Episode.
Yes, the next two episodes are election night and then process story.
There we are. Election night and process story. Well,
not a whole lot to dive into these two episodes, but I feel like just for like the narrative thrust of the season, they were important to talk about. And these next two will also be significant. So that's what we'll be talking about next week.
Yeah. But until next time, folks, keep working.
Keep on working.